One thing that I didn't know that I was going to love as much as I do is my built-in vacuum. All you have to do is flip this up here and you have a vacuum.
This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Today I met up with Ricki, and she has one of the most decked out Ford Transit all-wheel drive camper vans I've ever seen. She just traveled all the way across country, and now she's gonna give us a tour. So join us.
Hi Patrick, thanks so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here. This is my 2022 Ford Transit. It is the 148 extended wheelbase high roof 350 trim, so it's a dually and it's all-wheel drive, and I live in this full time. So how did I get into van life? So I lived in my car for 3 months a few summers ago, and I met a man in the middle of the woods, and he said, come into my van, and I was like, bet. And that is really my first exposure to van life. Moved out to Colorado, and life just kind of hit me with a ton of bricks this past year when my father unexpectedly passed, and realized that life is a little too short right now. And I invested into a one van. I bought a ProMaster. It was not the right van for me, so I decided to get a custom build. So yeah, this van is fully custom. I designed every aspect of it. I came to the builder with a drawing and blueprints already, which is not something that a lot of people do, but I knew, especially from living in a van already, I knew exactly what I wanted for a van and exactly what I didn't want. And yeah, they brought my van dream to life. All right, so I'm gonna start with the exterior because honestly, I love the exterior. It is one of the most decked out exteriors I've ever seen, but this is probably my favorite part of the entire exterior. It is the Backwood Adventure Mods front bumper with the bull bar. It has a 20-inch light bar, and I also have a Warn 12S winch and the purple D-shackles. I love the front of this van. It is rugged, but then you see the purple and you're like, oh, it's a girl. So purple is my favorite color. In the front bumper, I also have the Pathfinder flood and spotlights. I also have one more set of lights in the front, and I have a 50-inch light bar up top. That is 4 sets of light up front. As you can see, I also have a little bit more light around the van. I have 360 pods, so there is a light on every single corner of this van. Now, because this is a pretty tall van, I like to say it is 2 Rickies tall. It is a little bit over 10 feet. Getting into it is a little bit difficult, so I have the Avatar Nerf bars on both sides of the van. I did also upgrade my tires and the rims and the suspension. So I have the Open Country AT tires with a Van Compass suspension and 2-inch lift. I also have the Ultra Motorsports rims. They came with silver rims, and honestly, just having the black on black on black look was really important to me, and I think it makes it look super, super sleek. So I love the rims. Like I said, it is a dually, so I do have 4 tires, 2 on each side. Honestly, when I found that out, I was so excited. I didn't know that when I bought the van, and the story of me buying the van is a good one too, but I love it. I think it gives it a little extra oomph. I do have a gravity water filter out here, so this is just where I pour all my water into. I do have a shore power, and then I also have an exterior solar for my Zamp solar, so if I wanted to hook up more, I could. Up top here, I have the Owl Vans shovel. I do also, on these back doors, I have the Avatar roof, the Avatar ladder and tire carrier. I do have my spare tire because, like I said, it is upgraded tire size. It doesn't fit underneath, and I also kind of think it's cool. I have the Backwood Adventure Mod back bumper with 2 more sets of lights. So I have the Pathfinder lights out here. And then probably my favorite part of this entire van is my ski box. It is currently in summer mode, but this thing is massive. I have gotten so many comments about it. I am obsessed with it. This is the Avatar 6 ski box. Like I said, this thing is absolutely insane. You can, like, there's room. I haven't even filled this up. I do have Starlink, so I actually have two sources of internet. I have Starlink, so this is my Starlink cable. I also have something that not a lot of people have. I have my very own dual 4G network. So I can get internet via Starlink, or I can just get regular 4G. Part of the reason I went with this is because Starlink doesn't work very well when there's obstruction of the sky. So it really doesn't work great in forested areas, and I love to spend my time in forested areas. This works phenomenal in forested areas. So yeah, that's really cool. I have my own cellular network. On the insides of both of my rear doors, I do have the Van Essentials back door pocket storage thingamabob. Just installed them the other day, and honestly, I used to have like 4 bins in my garage, and now I only have like 2. So I have like my, hose for black water, gray water. I have my water fill-up hose here. I've got an extra set of extension cord and the shore power plug. And on this side, I have my RV filter right in here. So yeah, just super handy, super convenient. Makes it a lot easier for me to fill up. Every window has a Van Essentials window covers on it, so they just magnetize in. I keep the back ones up pretty much 24/7 unless I really want to see out my back windows. And then both my rear door and my sliding door have the Van Essentials bug screen. They just unhook, zip down. It's great for, honestly, it's great for summer and winter. I have taken the bug screens of my last van. I had them, took them down when it was snowing, prevents a lot of snow from getting in the van. So I love those as well. So now I'm going to take you through my garage. We're going to start over here. I have the 15 kilowatt system from EcoFlow, so I have an obnoxiously large amount of power. I have my AC breakers, some of my other breakers, and then my fuse system. I do then also have an outlet out here as well as a garage light. This side, like I said, it houses my electrical, so this door, you open that door and you can kind of get a sneak peek of that electrical system in there. And then this side is my water. I have 30 gallons of fresh water on a gravity system, as well as an outdoor shower right here. My shower from inside, which you'll see in a little bit, just connects right out here. One of my favorite things about this system that not a lot of vans have is this little tube right here. This is an overflow tube. So when I'm filling up the van, I don't have to be watching my levels. I don't have to be watching the water fill up. I can just wait for water to drain out the bottom of my van, and I know that I'm at 100%, and I just shut it off. I also have a secondary hose right here for an air compressor hookup if I ever need to blow water out. As for what is in my actual garage, obviously I'm big into skiing. I also love camping, hiking, climbing. So my ski box right now is in summer mode, but there's some other things in here. I have 3 of these bins. The one in the very back is going to be a lot of my backpacking gear. On top of that is going to be my climbing gear, and then this is just miscellaneous. I have a lot of backpacker pantry meals. I love them. They are the best. I also have a box solely dedicated for my winching accessories. So I have a snatch block, I have a dampener, I have a tree strap, I have a hitch receiver for another vehicle, and then obviously my winch remote, and then my Max Track straps. The goal is to never have to use this box on my vehicle, only when rescuing others. So we'll see how that goes. And then lastly, this vehicle here, this box right here just has my shore power plug. At the moment, I do have my Starlink in here as well. I have the Starlink Gen 3. I'm just waiting on a mount to come in so I can just mount it to the roof. Which, speaking of, let's go up to the roof. All right, so I'm gonna take my shoes off for this one. But I absolutely had to have a place where I could sit. And I love it up here. I have a massive, massive rooftop deck. This is probably, aside from the front bumper, this is probably one of my favorite features of the van as well. It is composite decking, so it's waterproof. It's what you're gonna find at your house. I also have all of my solar panels up here. So my solar is from Zamp Solar. And I think I have 375 watts of solar. I really love them because they are really, really low profile. I know a lot of like other solar companies, they stick up a lot. These do not, you really can't see them from the ground. And yeah, so this is my rooftop deck. Lots of sunrises and sunsets, mostly sunsets, are watched from up here. All right, let me take you around. We're gonna head inside. All right, so as I mentioned, both of my doors have the Van Essentials bug screen. This is great, it just zips right here, but this side is magnet, and so you can just open it up and close it. I have an exterior system of outlets. I also have a dedicated entry light. This is a single light right up there that I can pop on when it's dark and I just want to get into the van. I also wanted a single light, that way when my dog is in the van, I can just have one single light on for her rather than all of my lights. So that is that light right there. I also have a nice little cubby section right here. I do plan to put the rest of my dog's stuff. As of right now, there's not a lot of stuff in the van for my dog. That's because for the last 8 months, she's actually been at home with my mom. Part of the reason I drove across the country was to bring her back to Colorado with me. We're going to turn her into an adventure pup because right now she's like a mediocre, you know, I like to be outside, but I kind of just like to sniff stuff adventure pup. So we're going to change that and she's going to be a rock solid hiker. But yeah, so I have this cubby here. This is my main electrical outlet section. So my lights are on dimmers. So if you just kind of hold it down, the lights dim. And then I do have, you know, a USB all around the van. So I have a regular and then a USB-C. Outlets, and then these three right here are the outlets for the 360 lights. So my passenger side lights pop on, and then I have my rear and my driver. So next I have a leaf spring table. This is great because I can work here. I can use it as extra space for cooking. And I love being able to work from the road and have a nice, pretty view. So I am fully nomadic. I do a lot of work in social media, and between working in social media and just using my savings, that is how I'm able to fully sustain myself on the road. But yeah, love the sheer amount of like connectivity I have, so I don't have to go into Starbucks. I don't have to go into libraries. I can work from the middle of nowhere if I wanted to with this system. My passenger seat is obviously on a swivel right here. I only have the passenger seat on a swivel. My driver is not because there's nothing for it to swivel to. So being that I am full-time nomadic, it was really important that I had a vehicle that I could use in the summer and winter and be comfortable in. So I do have both AC and heat. So underneath of the seat, I have one set of my heating outlets. I have another one in the back as well, so I get heat from both sides. I do have a privacy curtain here that this was really important because my dog loves to jump in the driver's seat and just knock down on my window covers. It was a big issue I had in my last van. So I have this curtain, it is insulating, and then it just carabiners in to the bottom here with these D-rings. It also has a nice little poop bag and some storage, so just the more storage, the better for a full-time living. I have the Van Essentials window covers in my front. And then obviously, like I said in the very beginning, there is a lot of lights on the exterior of my van. So I have my light panel here. So I have the 50-inch light bar from the top. This one turns on my winch, and then it's flood spot 20-inch light bar rear. So this thing, when fully illuminated, it is bright. Honestly, like I was driving home at night the other day, and the brights, I was like, I'm not going to use my brights, and I just popped my 50-inch light bar on. It worked so much better than my brights. For the floor, I picked the most durable floor I could. It was important for me to have something that was really easy to clean, especially with a dog, and something that's really rugged. So it is the TPO pebble flooring. Now I'm going to take you into the van. So one thing that I didn't have in my last van was a mirror. So I obviously had to have a full-length pull-out mirror. I love this. Love this mirror right here. I can go all the way back and see myself. It doesn't distort. It is normal mirror. So I absolutely am obsessed with this. Next up is going to be my shower. I had a shower in my last van, but it was tiny. It was probably this big. So having a full indoor shower was really, really important to me because I like to be clean, like to be hygienic, and living on the van or living on the road, you don't always have access to showers. I really wanted at the end of a ski day to be able to come back into a warm van and take a hot shower and not have to find a place to go. So I do have a full shower in here. I have the Laveo dry flush toilet. I absolutely love this thing. It has a cartridge in there where you just go and then you press the little flush button and it kind of whirls it all around, kind of like a diaper genie, and pushes it to the bottom, and then you get to go again. There is no smell for both solids and liquids, so it's really great. And then when it does come time to shower, it does come out. I just take it out and put it right in my hallway, and now I have all of this space. Some other really great features of my shower is going to be my vent fan up here, just to help suck all of the air out. The TPO or the teak flooring, that helps with the fact that I'm not going to be standing in water. And then obviously my little light here. My shower curtain is a roll down zipper curtain. So you roll it and you zip it on both sides. It is mildew proof, waterproof, mold resistant, quick drying. I love it. And then one thing that I really wanted was I wanted the van to still look really pretty. And I really wanted to cover up as much of the shower front as possible. So I decided to go with this arch here. It's just made of real thin plywood, and I think it really ties the shower together and gives it a little bit more of a homey aesthetic feel rather than a stainless steel shower. My kitchen area is going to consist of the Isotherm 160 fridge and freezer. Having a big fridge and freezer was incredibly important to me, especially for a freezer. A lot of vans have really nice fridges, but really tiny freezers. And if I can't fit a giant gallon of ice cream in that freezer, I didn't want it. So currently, right now, it's a half-eaten cake, but there will be ice cream in it pretty soon. My countertop is Corian. I went with a light countertop to match the light of my wall panels. And I love it. It just gets, kind of dirty. I have a 2-burner induction cooktop. Works great. I've used both at the same time. Doesn't draw too much power, which I really like. There is no propane in this system. I did not want to deal with the potential hazards of propane, and I didn't want to deal with trying to find places to fill my propane. So everything is run off the battery. Here's my sink. It was really important that I had a big sink that I could wash all my dishes in. I have my water pump right here. My faucet extends, and then I do have hot and cold water. Both my heat and my hot water is run by the Rixon's hydronic heating system. I love it. The water gets really, really hot to the point that I can't actually put it on full blast. I also have all of the rest of my kitchen stuff in here. So I have a nice little area for my sponges, a drawer for all of my silverware. There is so much in here. I don't even use all of this. I have like a potato peeler, an egg slicer. I don't even drink wine. But yeah, so much in here. Then I have my pots, pans, some glasses, cutting boards, stuff like that. And then I just have more under sink storage. This is so big, like I could fit in here. It's ridiculous. I'm not even utilizing it to its full potential. That's how big it is. And then I have my hidden trash can. On the other side, I have my floor to ceilings. So my first floor to ceiling has a picture of Wetterhorn. It is a 14er in Colorado. The van builder names all of their vans after 14ers in Colorado, and this one is my favorite. So we just had that engraved, and I loved how it turned out. So my cabinets are all push to open and close, which means they don't fly open when I'm driving. And this is my main wardrobe. I probably have close to 50, maybe 60 items in here. Some of the hangers, especially for pants, are doubled up. So below that I have a mishmash of stuff. I have like my undergarments here. This one is my appliances. So I have an air fryer and an oven. I have a blender and a little mini waffle maker. And then I have like miscellaneous like swimsuits, a bag of trinkets, an extra towel, just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So the reason that this has a hole in it, whereas like the other ones don't, is this was initially supposed to be laundry. It was supposed to open like this and have a laundry bag. And on one of the final like walkthroughs when they were building it, I was like, that is an obnoxiously large laundry. So we decided to flip-flop one of the drawers that was supposed to be a storage drawer, make that laundry, and then put shelving in here. But because all the wood is cut on a single sheet of bamboo with a CNC, we couldn't recut this door. If you see here, if you look closely, the grain flows all the way. So that's why we couldn't recut it. So I have this nice little arch. It matches that arch right there. Down below here, I have my dog's bowls. It was really important to me to have a spot for her bowls so they weren't sliding around everywhere. So we have her water and her food bowl, and then underneath I have a little bit of storage. Things that I'm going to put in here are probably things that I'm not going to need very often, like extra dog bags, extra leashes, stuff like that. Because knowing me, there would be water in this bowl and I'd go whoop and get water everywhere. So this one is my pantry. This is a super, super, super large pantry. It's not even full. Like this thing goes back so far. Yeah, I mean, in my old van, I couldn't go to Costco, and I can go to Costco in this. So yeah, lots of spices, lots of snacks, lots of stuff that I never eat. So everybody needs a junk drawer. Just because you live in a van does not mean you don't get a junk drawer. And then I have a laundry drawer. This is really deep. It actually, like, I can shove a lot of clothing in here, like for real. And then I have a shoe cubby, and I would say there's probably 8 or so pairs of shoes in here. So yeah, really does a good job of holding a lot of shoes. Up top, I have 4 cabinets on overhead storage cabinets on this side, and then 1 over here. The first 2 are going to be your normal push open. So I have my like toiletries and stuff right here. And then I have my only other clothing storage area here. And then these 2 are just locking. So you just kind of push and turn. Yeah, so, and then that one right there actually has electrical wired up to it. So I have 2 sets of plugs and 1 USB. That way I can store my like laptop and cameras and, you know, drone and Insta360 and all my electrical stuff in and charge. So I wanted to have a dedicated workspace and dining room space. So I do have 2 bench seats. These are both storage seats. So we're gonna start with this one. Under this one is a bunch of my dog's toys, like her hedgehog. Does it make noise? Yeah, like much of my dog stuff is under here. I love to buy her toys. We had to find a spot for it. And then under this one is my toolkit and my vacuum accessories. So one thing that I didn't know that I was going to love as much as I do is my built-in vacuum. I do have a central vac from Dirt Devil. All you have to do is flip this up here and you have a vacuum. You attach the hose to it and that hose is massive. So I love that. Obviously I haven't vacuumed in a while, but yeah, I use that very, very often. Next, I have a second leaf. So this one is really cool. So this is at a perfect height, and I also have hidden storage back here. So this is the last stuff that I don't use very often, like grocery shop bags and stuff like that. Because one of the best things about living in a van is your groceries just come right to your door, and you don't need to use any bags. So I do have a full-size bed with these, it's being held in here with these, you know, side little pieces things here. And then underneath here is where the other part of my heat comes out. All right, now I'm gonna take you to the bedroom area. All right, so like I said, I have a full bed. One thing that was really important to me was having headroom when I'm sitting up in bed. And one thing I think is really funny about this van is I have a 6'2" interior, but my bed is like 5'3". It is for a tiny human, but I'm a tiny human, so I didn't need to extend it. I didn't need flares. A lot of people, when they get the Transit, put the bed this way. I didn't want that. So I have my dog's stuffed animals and her blankets. And then I also have 2 bunk windows, which open with bug screens. Really, really nice for ventilation at night. And I have them on both sides of my bed. Over here is my control panel. So, and my little like nightstand area is what I call this. But so I have the EcoFlow system. So this just lets me monitor how much is coming in and how much is going out. And then I also have my Ricki system. I then have all of the levels that show me my water tank levels, as well as heat pads for my batteries in the winter, and then my Starlink on and off. I have 2 USB lights in the bed area, so each of these have a USB in them for more charging. And yeah, that is pretty much my bed area. So up next, we're gonna talk about how I stay warm in the winter and cool in the summer. So the van is insulated with 3M Insulate and Havelock wool. So that is behind every wall panel, every ceiling here. I talked about the Ricki heater, and then I have the Nomadic X2 AC unit and the Max Air Fan Deluxe 7500, I think, AC. So between all of my insulation, my windows, and my heating and cooling, it does stay really nice and cool and really warm. All right, well, thank you guys for visiting me in my home and coming on me with this tour. I am on Instagram and TikTok at Ricki on the Road. And this summer, and where I'll be in the future, so gonna be in Colorado a lot this summer. Gonna be bouncing around ski resorts in the winter. And then next summer, I'm actually driving the van up to the Arctic Circle in Alaska. So I hope you follow me along my journey.
I definitely will be following you because that is going to be an awesome trip. You have the perfect van for it. This thing is decked out, like I said in the beginning. All-wheel drive, you got the upgraded suspension, you got the lights, you have some redundancy in there, you got a mega lithium battery bank, enough solar on the roof. That is great. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us.